Yo guys, and welcome back towards this new video here on the channel. And on today's video guys, I am going to go over some crazy charts that are currently indicating the Bitcoin bottom may be extremely close right now. So please make sure to stick with me on this video, because on this video I'm going to go over some very important charts. You can see it already. Make sure to smash up the like button right now, because I do think that this is going to be one of the most craziest videos that you definitely need to watch here. So guys, smash up the like button, will be highly appreciated, and let's dive right away in towards the content. So what we can currently see here is that Bitcoin is creating a beautiful upward sloping support line here on the daily time frame. And what we can see that every single time once Bitcoin tends to be touching this range here, we tend to be skyrocketing towards the upside. We did it already once, we did it twice over here, also the third time, beautiful touch point, and we right away shoot up. Here as well for the fourth time, we shoot up. And right now we are retesting this range. Pretty interesting retest if you would ask me here. So is there a possibility that Bitcoin is going to have a similar kind of a reaction? I personally will be giving it a big fat yes here. The chance is definitely there to see the history repeat. And of course also last time around we created this big market reversal from off this upward sloping support line. So do please take this in notice that it is an extremely important upward sloping support line that we do need to take very seriously. Also on the 1 hour time frame we're seeing a breakout, but since it is weekend, I'm not going to really take these lower time frames that serious. And guys, please make sure to stick with me on this one, because it's going to become very interesting what I'm about to discuss here. First of all, do notice about how Bitcoin is forming these higher lows every single time here. We do know we are forming an upward sloping support line, but just notice that we are forming, of course, a 3% higher, 11% higher low, 4% higher low, 2.7% higher low, and we keep continuously still setting these higher lows. So as long as Bitcoin is still putting in these higher lows, I personally think we are looking pretty strong. And that is also a reason why I personally think a bottom may be very close right now here, since Bitcoin usually tends to be creating these higher lows. And if we're really going to be breaking this trend, yeah, it is going to be a little bit more bearish for Bitcoin. But so far, it does look like we're still holding on towards this trend here. But let me right now go in towards a little bit more of an interesting part of the video. And let me real quickly talk about the Bitcoin versus long ratio here. So what we can see is that the bitfinex wheels are basically entering long positions every single time the market tends to come down here. And basically this has been a historic signal that we are very close at a bottom, or that we either are bottoming out over there. What you can see basically from the past, that every single time, let's take the summer low as example. In the summer low, Bitfinex wheels accumulated massive amounts of long positions, like you can see. And while they were accumulating long positions, price actually was still falling down. What happened then eventually? We started a huge uptrend towards the upside, and of course the Bitfinex wheels were right here. And do also note here that as soon as the market does turn bullish, they are starting to distribute. And basically once they're distributing and they're coming at the low point, it is suggesting that the market peak is in here. So look at the look at this. The Bitfinex wheels are exiting all their long positions exactly on the market top. How is this a big coincidence? These wheels do know more than we know. That is why this is happening. And that is also, so that is why I do take this indication so very seriously. And do you really think Bitcoin is going to come further down here if these Bitfinex wheels are once again accumulating? And look at how parabolic these big Bitfinex wheels are accumulating long positions. I personally think the bottom may be extremely close right now here. I personally think we are at the stage where we can start to go parabolic towards the upside, and we could be creating that massive reversal towards the upside, right? Bitcoin is on the verge of a reversal, and Bitfinex wheels are also really telling us that right now. Always, once they think a market peak is in, we tend to see Bitfinex wheels, of course, decrease their positions. But right now, they're clearly increasing, showing that they're still very comfortable in the space. Also, guys, really looking at this chart here, look at this downward sloping resistance line on Bitcoin. And please stick with me on this video, because there's much more interesting things about to come here. So what we can see over here, downward sloping resistance line getting formed here. We've had a lot of touch points from of this region, right? We got a rejection over here. We've got support touches over here. We've got another support touch right now on the market as well. So yeah, pretty high amount of retests are getting found on this level, and personally I see this as a very strong level of support and resistance, and hopefully we can start to be seeing a massive move created from this region. Of course, we are also looking at some kind of a pennant over here, but personally I'm not taking it all too serious. I do want to be seeing Bitcoin get this bounce from this region where we're currently basically trading on, from this upward sloping support line. Also do take a notice that every single time here on that one daily time frame, Bitcoin tends to be really creating its bounces from this green box on the RSI, right? You can see this green box has been getting a lot of significance, and basically every single time Bitcoin tends to be bouncing, it tends to be bouncing from this green box on the RSI. So yeah, once again, if we're going to look back here we formed a bounce from the green box on the RSI. Here we formed a bounce from the green box on the RSI. Here we formed a short-term bounce on the green box here, and of course, if we're going to be looking back here, we find the bounce, and of course I can go on and on and on as well over here. So once again, we're back at these stages where we can see a very strong bounce on the market getting created here. Here we saw one, and once again we are having another touch across that green box here. So yeah, green box is basically really suggesting there is going to be some very strong bounces for Bitcoin, and that is of course very positive for us holders out there. Also looking at horizontal support, we're still holding on towards that 35.9k target. And actually, if I'm really looking at horizontal support, I'm going to be looking at this Fibonacci chart, of course, and set up a Fibonacci from the swing low here on the pandemic crash here towards the all-time high of Bitcoin. And if you're setting up that Fibonacci, you can clearly see that Bitcoin is right now retesting the 0.5 across this metrics. And this is, of course, a crucial level to hold on towards. The weekly time frame is going to close in 1 day and 16 hours from now on. And if we could just get that extremely important retest, positive retest above this range here, we can start to be looking very bullish for Bitcoin. So yeah, pretty exciting about what we're currently are seeing across the border, but 36.4k is going to be an extremely big support for the weekly time frame for Bitcoin. And actually, if we're really going to be looking at this chart here, a bounce from that 36.4k will be also confirming a potential double bottom on the weekly time frame, and potentially next week could be, of course, due to that reason, extremely strong for Bitcoin. And let me right now go in towards the fun part of the video. Let me go in the educational part of the video, and let me quickly show you guys some very interesting charts here. First of all, before I can explain my next chart, I have to show you this. Why am I investing in Bitcoin? It's because of the technology adoption curve. Guys, the next cycle, or basically the cycle that we're currently in here, is already destined to be the cycle. In this cycle, we're going to get so much more exposure. People think they're too late to be buying Bitcoin, but actually what I do think here is that Bitcoin is going to trade around $1 million within 10 years and probably even sooner. Due to high inflation, Bitcoin is probably going to hit that $1 million earlier than expected. But go back in towards this picture. We can currently see that, of course, if we're going to compare the total amount of crypto users towards the total global internet users, we are seeing a similar rally. And do you know, the next generation is literally learning how to do things with their phone. They're growing up with their phones here. The next generation is why I'm investing in Bitcoin. They are going to grow up with Bitcoin. They are going to grow up with Web3. This is, of course, why I invest in cryptocurrencies. I personally think it has a very high probability for huge adoption, and that is why I'm investing in it. So please make up your vision. Why are you even buying Bitcoin? Are you believing in the future, or are you here just for that quick flip here? I am here for the future and the life-changing wealth here. And I personally think that life-changing wealth is getting created from markets that are down massively. And once there's basically no interest, you should invest your time in it, in my opinion. And then let me start to go over the more chartist things here. I don't know how you exactly pronounce that, but let me go a little bit in towards the charts here. And what you can see across this chart is that this chart is right now representing the total supply that's been less active between 1 year and 2 years on Bitcoin. I will be quiet a little bit here, but if you don't understand it, make sure to screenshot this, make sure to pause the video. But this chart is basically telling us everything. It told us exactly where the bottom was on the market, and also it is going to tell us exactly once we are at a closing stage of a new rally. And personally, we are right now extremely close at a new stage for a rally, because look at how a massive amount is starting to become a long-term holder. And basically the theory behind this chart also is here, the longer someone's going to be holding their Bitcoin, the less likely those people that are actually holding those Bitcoin are willing to sell off their Bitcoin against a loss or against a profit or whatsoever. They're more likely to tend to become a holder. And holders is what really is going to be driving this market. There are more and more holders stepping in towards this market. And that's why this market is basically growing. And that's why we are always seeing these new highs getting created inevitably. And that is why I also believe that Bitcoin is inevitable to go up, and it's destined to go up here, and it is just a matter of time to be going up again. Also, you can take this chart on a different output, and you can just look at the 1 year total supply here, and let me quickly search it up here. Let me go back and let me go to my favorites, because yeah, this is of course absolutely one of my favorite indicators. You can clearly see also, you can screenshot it. It is pretty clear for me. There's a massive amount of new 1+ year holders coming in towards the market. They are becoming less likely to sell here, and that is why we are probably closer than we already think at these bottoming stages, because those people that are right now starting to become a long-term holder 1+ year, they bought in this beginning rally, and they're not going to sell against a loss here, because they're probably already against a loss here, and since they're already a long-term holder, they become less likely to actually sell their Bitcoin. Pretty interesting, if you would ask me, right here. Pretty interesting. And also, just quickly looking at the addresses with non-zero balance, basically the growth of the network, we can also see that the growth of the network is inevitable. And we are seeing more and more adoption come towards this market. We are just having a massive amount of growth across the network, and that is making myself extremely exciting. And that is just exactly why I have been in the space, and that's exactly why I personally think we are, of course, also going to be keep continuously rallying, and also purely looking at the strength of the network. And of course, let me not zoom in so much here, but you can clearly see we're seeing a massive amount of growth. And I mean, it's on a log scale. That is why it's not working. It has to be linear, like this. So what we can see over here on the Lightning Network, it's basically we're seeing massive growth amongst the network strength here, and that is why I've been buying so much Bitcoin recently. That is why I've been building up an insane long position across Bitcoin. And I'm definitely going to be making a ton of money with it, in my opinion. So I'm looking forward towards it, guys. Make sure to smash up the like button on this video if you did enjoy it. Make sure to share this video with your friends, because we are at crucial times here, and still people are not understanding the game, how it works. The game is just to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible, and that is the game that I'm currently playing. So guys, thank you anyways for, of course, liking the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you do enjoy the content. Next week I will be back home, and I've got some very interesting things I'm trying to do here with my content. I'm trying to be making better and better videos every single day, guys, and I hope you truly enjoy it. So make sure to smash up the like button. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, on Telegram, and of course here on YouTube, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.